the most interesting person you've ever been seated next to on an airplane? I was heading to my brother's funeral when a 90-year-old man sat beside me holding an old wedding photo. We were somewhere over Kansas when he noticed me crying. Without saying anything, he pulled out a handkerchief from his suit pocket and handed it to me. I tried giving it back, but he just smiled and said, "Keep it. My Evelyn always made me carry extras." That's when he showed me the wedding photo. It was faded and worn at the edges, like he'd carried it everywhere for decades. In it, a young couple stood beaming, him in an Air Force uniform, her in a simple white dress with wildflowers. "Going to see her now?" he said quietly. "Haven't visited in a while because of my hip surgery, but today's our anniversary." I asked if she lived far from the airport. He shook his head and pointed out the window at the clouds. "She's up there somewhere. Been waiting 15 years for me." Then he told me their story. They met in 1952 at a diner where she worked. He'd come in every day for 3 weeks straight, ordering the same burnt coffee just to talk to her. When he finally asked her out, she laughed and said, "I thought you just had terrible taste in coffee." They were married 6 months later, right before he deployed. She wrote him every single day he was gone. He pulled out a stack of yellowed envelopes, held together with a faded blue ribbon. "Still have every letter. Read them when I miss her voice." I asked if they had kids. His eyes lit up as he pulled out his wallet, overflowing with photos. 5 children, 12 grandchildren, 6 great-grandchildren. Each one's name, age, and favorite ice cream flavor memorized. "Evelyn kept track of all that," he said. "After she passed, I made sure to learn every detail. Feels like she's still here when I remember the little things." He was quiet for a moment before adding, "Last thing she said to me was, 'Don't you dare follow me too quick.' So I've been taking my time." I told him about my brother, how he died suddenly in an accident, how I hadn't spoken to him in 2 years over some stupid fight about inheritance money, how I was flying out for a funeral where I'd have to face my whole family knowing the last words we exchanged were in anger. The old man listened, then reached into his coat pocket and pulled out a small leather box. Inside was a silver pocket watch, engraved with "Forever yours, Evelyn." "She gave me this on our wedding day," he said. "Told me time was precious, not to waste it on anger. When she died, I almost followed the next day. Couldn't imagine a world without her in it." He placed the watch in my hands. I tried to refuse. It was clearly his most precious possession, but he closed my fingers around it. "Evelyn would want you to have it," he said, "to remind you that time runs out when we least expect it. Don't waste yours carrying grief and regret." We landed 3 hours later. As we walked off the plane, he squeezed my shoulder and said, "Tell your brother everything you wish you'd said. He'll hear you." I helped him get his bag down, and we walked together until we reached the exit. He was meeting his son to drive to the cemetery. Before we parted, he hugged me like he'd known me forever. I watched him slowly walk away, that old wedding photo held carefully in his hands. When I got to the funeral, I placed the watch on my brother's casket and told him I was sorry. I swear I felt the second hand tick against my palm as I let it go. That night, I looked up the name engraved on the back of the watch. William and Evelyn Morrison, 6/12/1952. The local paper had their obituary. Evelyn had died 15 years ago of cancer. William had passed away in his sleep the night of our flight, hours after we landed. His family said he'd been in perfect health but told everyone he'd be seeing his Evelyn soon. He was found in his favorite chair, their wedding photo in his lap, smiling.